We begin, though, with the breaking news. Evacuations underway right now ahead of a direct impact in Florida from Hurricane Milton. Right now, it is a Category 4 storm out in the Gulf. It's gaining strength ahead of expected landfall tomorrow night. This is a massive storm. Look at that from space. You see it there. It is more than 300 miles wide. Some impacts from Milton will be felt as early as tomorrow afternoon. That is why you see the roads, lots of traffic out there. Officials saying in Florida that now is the time to get out. If you're in an evacuation zone, hospitals are being cleared out. Schools are already closed in some areas. And there's also a rush to get supplies like gasoline. Some gas stations are already tapped out. Gas Buddy tracks gas supply and says nearly 8,000 stations are out of fuel already. We have this storm covered from every angle. We're going to get to our correspondents in Florida in just a moment. But first, let's go to NBC's Al Roker, who's with me here in the studio. Al, just give us the very latest. This does look like a monster.
It does, in fact, Kate. And in fact, we are seeing this thing start to intensify. The visible satellite shows that eye redeveloping now, and that's a sign of strengthening. Right now, much of the state of Florida under hurricane warnings from coast to coast. Fort Myers, Tampa, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Fort Pierce as well. Tropical storm warnings further to the south, hurricane watches as well. And as this system gets itself together now, it's 520 miles southwest of Tampa with winds now up to 155 miles per hour. It's moving northeast at 8 miles per hour. Path of this system is going to bring it sometime late tomorrow afternoon, evening, about 11 o'clock to 3 a.m. It's going to make landfall as possibly a Category 3 storm or stronger. We're going to watch this. Now, when it does kind of start to lose some of its strength, it's going to grow in size as it gradually weakens. Right now, tropical force winds extend out 200 miles from the center of the storm. But as it makes landfall, it's going to be close to 400 miles across, nearly doubling its size. And that means we're going to be looking at a larger storm, pushing more water, funneling that surge into the coast from Fort Myers up to Tampa, Sarasota as well. And so the surge warnings right now are very, very dire. We're talking about 10 to 15 feet from Tampa all the way down to Sarasota, just to the south, 6 to 10 feet, Naples, Fort Myers as well. So we're going to be watching that. And there's a storm surge on the other side as the system exits Florida. So we're going to be watching these storm surges over the next 36 hours. We've also got a risk for severe weather. Whenever you've got a system, especially to the right of the storm, you are going to be looking at severe weather. In fact, 14 million people at risk. Tornadoes are a real likelihood from Daytona Beach, Orlando, Fort Myers, all the way down to Miami. Now, as far as the rainfall is concerned, we are looking at a flooding rainfall situation, a high risk of flash flooding for rivers and streams and streets from Orlando, Ocala, down to Sarasota. We could, Kate, be looking at up to 18 inches of rain, especially in north and north central Florida. So as this system gets itself together, it's going to be a very thin line, anywhere between, depending on 10 to 15 miles either way around Tampa. That's going to determine where the heaviest storm surge is, and we're going to be tracking it.
Right, and it's sort of to the south of where the storm actually crosses, right, is where we see the worst storm surge?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Al Roker, thanks for tracking it all for us. Appreciate it. Let's go to our correspondents. They're out in the storm zone right now. Sam Brock is in Tampa, Florida. Dana Griffin's in Naples. Chase Cain is in Orlando. Sam, I'll start with you. The Tampa area, as Al just laid out, it could take a direct hit from the hurricane. And that would be the first time in 100 years that they had a direct hit. Are you seeing people take these calls to evacuate seriously?
Sure. 3+ million people in the metro, Kate. Over my shoulder, quite the contrast. We were on this very road from Pinellas to Hillsborough with the bridge that connects it yesterday jammed for miles. Took us an hour and a half just to get back to Tampa. Look at it today. So either that means many folks have evacuated already or don't have the ability to at this point. And I say that because here's a gas station on the corner here. We're near Largo in Pinellas County. You got a lot of plastic bags that are covering pumps. There's signs on the pumps that say, please see the cashier inside to use. Then you scroll over there and you find big pieces of plywood, meaning that they've shut down. Obviously, folks here are concerned about their safety, gas stations and otherwise. I did have an interesting conversation with a woman not very long ago as we talked about all of the things that are going on the ground level. Governor DeSantis today earlier talking about having 8,000 National Guardsmen at the ready, 300+ dump trucks that are moving all these giant piles of debris that you've heard about that could be projectiles all over the Tampa Bay region. She said in her estimation, after what happened during Hurricane Helene only a couple of weeks ago, the mindset has completely reoriented and people are responding accordingly, both government and local. Take a listen to our conversation.
This is better than the last storm we just had. I've never seen so much activity, and people are actually leaving. I did not see this with the one we just had, Helene. I didn't see a lot of people not worried. But this one, people are really leaving.
Kate, real quickly as well, hospitals. You talk about Florida as a huge footprint for health care. We did go to Advent Health yesterday. They actually ended up moving 40 to 50 patients from North Pinellas to north of Tampa. We met Bob Fitzinger there. These are some pictures of him yesterday. 79-year-old man already lost his home in Helene, one of many people that have been relocated. That was their only hospital. Tampa General has not had any evacuations yet, but obviously this is something we're paying very close attention to.
And Sam, I know that area. I know there's barrier islands out there and just lots of exposed areas. So hopefully people are getting off those places and getting inland. Thank you so much. Yeah. Dana, let me go to you. You're about 150 miles south of Sam in Naples, Florida. I know you spoke to the mayor. Yeah. What did she have to say?
Well, she said that mandatory evacuation started at 6 a.m. She hasn't seen the number of people evacuate that she would like, but she says that there is still time to get out. But take a look behind me. This beach is now full of people, more than we saw yesterday. You would think that we would see less people today, but there are several surfers in the water, families showing up to the beach. You would think that a hurricane, a Category 4 hurricane, is not about to barrel toward this state, even though we are outside of the direct hit of that storm. As Al mentioned, we could likely get life-threatening storm surge here, some 6 to 10 feet, and that is the biggest concern that even the mayor reiterated today. That's why they have evacuated the coastal residents and even some areas that are prone to storm surge. And she also wanted to give this stark reminder of just how quickly storms can change and how people need to be ready to evacuate. Listen.
Even with Ian, we weren't in the threat zone, and then all of a sudden we were getting a direct hit. So as far as I'm concerned, these storms are unpredictable. So don't think that just it can't take a quick turn, and we need to be prepared for that.
We need to be prepared, and I've asked several people. As you can see, more people are showing up. These people just walked right past us. I've asked people, are they leaving? I've heard, no, I'm in a safe area, and I've heard a quote, maybe. Kate?
Yeah, I think all of our weather folks, our meteorologists would say just err on the side of caution and eventually get out of there and move to higher ground. Let me go to Chase Cain. He is somewhere where a lot of people are headed in Orlando. That's like 100 miles inland. This is going to be the second major storm, as we've said, in 2 weeks. Are people evacuating? We heard Sam talking about people that are becoming wiser and knowing they need to get out of the way. What are you experiencing?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of traffic on Interstate 4. It thins out a little bit here behind me, Kate, in downtown Orlando. But, so many people are trying to leave Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region. Many gas stations are running out of gas along the way. A lot of folks coming here, but even in a big tourist city like Orlando, not a lot of hotel rooms left. Farther to the north in Jacksonville, no hotel rooms left. We talked with a family that evacuated here from Port Charlotte. They stayed home for Ian. They wished they had not. Helene brought water within a few feet of their front door, and they said with Milton, they're getting out of town.
It's just very stressful to go through this, and if you've got to go through this once or a couple times a year, you start wondering, is this really worth it?
The risk to human life is, of course, the most important thing here. That's why Florida officials are emphasizing for folks to evacuate, because they are running out of time. One last point, though, Kate, when it comes to property, Moody's financial firm is estimating that in the path of Milton here in Florida, more than 1.1 trillion with a T, dollars of property in the path of Milton. Kate.
All right, Chase Cain for us, and to all of our reporters down there, please stay safe.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.